Good afternoon, sir. I just wanted to say something that on Thursday we were writing mathematics test. So luckily I passed the test. I got 27 out of 50. So there was also an assignment that was out of 50. So I got 44. So I would like to say thank you to the Watobe team that helped me understand the equations and the all the maths thingies. Thank you, sir.
It's an absolute pleasure, Lunico, and well done.
Awesome,
That's
Nico. Well
really,
done.
amazing performance. And yeah, we're so proud of you, and we really appreciate the compliments from your side. And it's really all your hard work and dedication as well for attending the lessons so regularly. So yeah, very well done. We really, really so impressed with your excellent performance.
Thank you, sir and ma'am. Also thanks to Watobe.
Yes, keep up the great work. We love seeing you in every single one of our classes. It's good stuff.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we'll definitely pass the message on to the other teachers and the team as well.
Yes, thank you, sir. My plan is to level up and then do the best as I can. So I'll try like getting straight A's.
That's amazing. And yeah, keep up the good work. And I'm certain with your hard work and effort, you will definitely do really well.
Thank you, sir.
So welcome, everybody. So we've got quite a few of you joining today. And we've got Arsene, Lunico, Twanelo, we've got Sakisi, Samkelo. Welcome. And today we're going to be looking at transformation geometry again, and we're focusing specifically on enlargement and reflections as well. So yeah, I'm wondering if you've done this at school, please type in the chat and let me know. And also, what is your understanding of the enlargement of shapes as well as the reflections of shapes? I'm very curious to know what your understanding of them is. Okay, some of you haven't done this yet. Yeah. I think sometimes the schools do things in a different order. So some of you would be doing this, some of you are still going to be doing it, but I hope that through these lessons, you'll also be able to get a little bit of a head start and you'll be able to understand the section better when you do cover it. So yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, so we're going to start in 2 minutes. Just waiting for some to join, and then we're going to look at the reflections. Okay. I'd just like to know from all of you, how many of you have done enlargements and reflections at school yet? And what is your understanding of what enlargements and reflections are? Of shapes, right?
I'm not too sure, Teacher Dipesh, but can I give it a try?
Of course you can, yes.
Well, if it's enlargements, I think maybe it has something to do with making things larger. Right? And reflection. I think the one time that I see a reflection is when I'm standing in the mirror. So maybe a reflection will be like the same shape the same way, maybe reflected. I don't know, something like that.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, so you are correct. So enlargement would be making a shape, a triangle, a square, rectangle. We can make the shape, we can enlarge the sides. So for example, if we've got 1 centimeter, is the 1 centimeter, we enlarge it by a factor of 3, then the sides will now be 3 centimeters. Or if we've got 2 centimeters and we enlarge it by a scale factor of 5, the sides will then be 10 centimeters and so forth, right? So yeah, enlargement is definitely changing the ratio and changing the side of the sides of the shapes. Okay, so right, let's start with, oh yes, and reflection, of course, is the reflections that you spoke about. When you look in the mirror, you see reflection. It's the same with the shapes. We're going to be reflecting the shapes, particularly around the x-axis and the y-axis. And we're going to look at how those new shapes look once we reflect them. Whoops. Let's look at this, right? So here's a shape here. I'm not sure what type of shape we're going to call this, but yeah, it is a shape. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, five-sided figure, right? Irregular pentagon. So reflect shape A in the y-axis. Now, where is the y-axis? The y-axis is here. Here's the y-axis. Okay. Anybody wants to share with me what do they mean by this? Reflect the shape A in the y-axis. Who wants to help me with this one? Swanello?
By drawing the same image to the left-hand side.
Yes. And obviously it's going to be a reflection. Hey, Swanello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to take the shape and you're going to reflect it and draw it there. So when you reflect something in the y-axis, the y's are going to remain the same, but the x's change signs. So this x here on the right-hand side is 1. So it's going to be -1, right? So let's write down the coordinate points. So this was 1 and 2. So the y stays the same, but the x changes signs, right? So I'm going to enlarge this just so that we see it better. So we're going to write the coordinates here. This x is 1 and 2 at this point here. This coordinate was 2 and 2. This coordinate is 3 and 3. 2 and 4. And then we've got here 1 and 4. Okay. And now we're going to change the signs of all the x's because this diagram is going from here to here. So we need to change the coordinates of all the x values, right? So we need to change the sign of the x because it's all going to the left-hand side. So instead of it being 1 and 2, it's now going to be -1 and 2. Instead of the other one being 2 and 2, it's going to be -2 and 2. Instead of the other one being 3 and 3, it's going to be -3 and 3. See here at the bottom, we have -3. Instead of the other one being 2 and 4, we've got -2 and 4. And then instead of the one being 1 and 4, we've got -1 and 4. And then we're going to connect, right? So then we connect with our lines. Okay, so I'm really bad at drawing these lines. I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna try and stick to drawing it freehand and trying my best, right? I don't know what happened there, but I'm gonna draw it freehand and I'll draw it in a different color. Here, 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 here. Remember, you need to draw it with a ruler, right? There we go. Okay, so this is a reflection of the shape in the y-axis. So it's from here, it goes to that one, right? Reflection of the shape in the y-axis. Can all of you see how the shape has changed from the one on the right to the one on the left? And so reflection in the y-axis, the sign of the x changes, the sign of the x coordinates change, right? So reflection in the y-axis. The sign of x-axis changes. The x coordinates change, right? Okay, so the sign of the x coordinate change, but the y stays the same. This is reflection in the y-axis, right? So remember the question, it says reflection in the y. Where's that question going? There's a reflect shape A in the y-axis, right? I'd just like to see from all of you, if you can just show me a thumbs up, or you can unmute or type in the chat and let me know if this is okay for you. Excellent. Sure. Look at all that. Lots of thumbs up. Okay. So yeah, reflection in the y-axis, or reflection in the y-axis. Now, reflection in the x-axis, the shape will go from here to here. Okay. Is that correct, everybody? The shape will go where the blue arrow is. Thanks, Asonge, for letting me know. Yeah, so it's going to go where the blue arrow is. And which coordinate will change signs, everybody? When you reflect something in the x-axis, which coordinate will change signs? You can just type in the chat, which coordinate? So we want to now reflect in the x-axis, right? So reflect in the x-axis. Yes, thank you for that. So reflect in the x-axis. Okay, so we've got 1 and 2. So we're then going to have 1 and minus 2. See, the y now changes. 2 and 2, we've got 2 and minus 2. 3 and 3, we've got 3 and minus 3. 2 and 4, we've got 2 and minus 4. And then 1 and 2, we've got 1 and minus, 1 and 4, we've got 1 and minus 4. So reflection in the x-axis, the sign of the y coordinate changes. Changes, right? Okay. Let's connect it. So we've got here and here. We've got these two. We've got these two. We've got here. And then we've got these two, right? And there's the shape, right? Okay, so we see two changes happened here, reflection in the y-axis and reflection in the x-axis, right? Are there any questions, anybody? Are there any questions here in these reflections? Nope, no questions. Oops. Okay, there we go. So this is reflections in the x-axis and reflections in the y-axis, right? Okay. So we don't just get reflections in the x and the y, but we do get reflections across lines, like lines on the x-axis, lines on the y-axis. And in that case, we just need to look at our shape and see how we're going to reflect it across certain lines. We cannot use this rule of just simply changing the signs, right? Because these ones, they reflected across the x and the y-axis, but around the origin. So all of them are happening around the origin, around the center of the Cartesian plane, right? Okay. Okay. So let's look. Let's look at this one. Before we move on, I just want to ask you one more time. Are there any questions regarding the reflection across the x-axis and the y-axis? Nope, nothing. Okay, let's try this one. Now, this question says, reflect the triangle, if you read at the bottom, in the line y equals to 1. So I'm going to make that line a bit more in a different color, just so that you can see it clearer. There we go, y equals 1, right? And it's y equals to 1 in there, right? So there's the line, y equals 1, and we're going to reflect it across that line. So where will this shape go? What do you think? Will it go, so this is y equals 1. Will it go left? Will it go to the right? Will it go to the bottom? Will it go to top? Where will it go? Where will this shape go if we reflect it across the y equals 1 line? Where will it go? Any idea? That's the line y equals to 1. Where will it go? Will it go here, A? Will it go here, B? Or will it go here, C? What do you think? Those on the live feed can also let me know. When you reflect it in the line y equals 1, will it go A, will it go B, or will it go to C? Where will it go? What do you think, Tandeka? Sorry, Asonge, Lutando, Rorisang, Tosley, what do you think? Dalen? Okay, that's excellent. I see a lot of the correct answers, which is C. Okay, so it's C. Okay, so let's put that in there. And this is how we do it, right? Thanks for that, Swanella. That's excellent. So we've got a space of 2 here, and we're going to do the same here. 1, 2, see? So we've got a space of 2, so we're going to put a dot there, see? We've got a space of 2 here, we're going to do a space of 2 there. See? Here, from the line, we've got a space of how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we want to then count from the line again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot there. And we've got that. See, so you just count from the line to each of the points, right? Let's try that again. So we've got from the line here, we've got 1, 2, and then here again, 1, 2. And then we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? Then here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 there, right? And there we go. So we can now draw the triangle in. And then the last one. There we go. And that is the reflected triangle. Is that correct, everybody? Are you happy with this one, the way it's drawn? Yeah, you can just show me a thumbs up if you're happy with this one. Everybody happy with this? Those on the live stream as well, you please show me a thumbs up. Let me know how this is looking. Okay, any questions? Nope, no questions. Okay. So I know you don't have graph paper, so it becomes a bit difficult for you to draw these because you don't have graph paper there with you. But if you can just try it out, maybe they want us to reflect this triangle in the line AB, right? So AB is here. Oops. There's line AB. And if you can just draw it on a piece of paper, and then we can just compare. So they want you to reflect us across the line AB. We don't have coordinates here, right? There's no coordinates here, so we have to just, work on it based on what we see. There's no like 1, 2, 3, 4, so we have to just work on the positions, positions of the shape. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes. You can try it out and see how you draw it. And just draw a rough sketch. Like I say, I understand it's a little bit difficult because you don't have some graph paper, but some of you might have. Okay. How was this exercise, everybody? If you can type a word in the chat and let me know, how did it go for you? Were you able to reflect it? Lutando, thank you for that. What about the rest of you? Were you able to reflect? Let's look. Swanelo, Rory-san, how was this exercise for you? Kazimla, Charsley, Arsen. Yeah, it went okay. Okay, great. All right, thank you for that. Went good. Okay, let me draw the shape in, right? So remember, we look at the positioning. So it's going to be the space. How far is it? Here we've got 1. So we're going to do 1 that way. Then we've got 1, 2, 3. Then again 1, 2, 3 here. And then here. And then we draw it in. It's going on here? Let's do this again. We've got a line drawing it, connecting. So I'm going to connect here. And then we've got another one here. Here. And lastly, here. Oh, what's going on there? Okay, there we go. Okay, who's got this triangle here? Who's got this triangle here? You can just show me a thumbs up if this is the triangle that you have. Okay, yay, great. Those on the live stream as well, please show me a thumbs up if you've got this triangle. That's excellent. Okay, well done. That's really amazing. Well done, everybody. Okay, thanks for that, Lutando. Thank you so much, Asonge, Tandeka, Arsen. Okay, so this is reflections, right? We're going to look now at enlargements. But do any of you have questions for reflections before we move on? Reflections, right? Okay, so these are some examples of reflections. We're going to look at more enlargements now. Any questions? Nope. Okay, so we get enlargements. Okay, so we get enlargements. So this one here, enlargements of shapes. So let's look. We got shapes that look like this. So here the shape is changing size, if you can see. Look at that. We've got a rectangle. Initially, the sides were how many? Two. The length was 2 and the height was 1. Then it became 4. Then it became 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Can you see that? So from here to here, we are enlarging it by how much? So purple, and then from here to here, the green, we are enlarging it by how much? And then I also want you to tell me the orange from here to here. How much are we enlarging it by? So yeah, maybe you can tell me the purple first. How much are we enlarging it by? And then the green, how much are we enlarging it by? And then we've got lastly the orange. What are we multiplying the sides by, right? So you can type in the chat, or you're welcome to also unmute. Okay, I'm waiting for a few more of you to share. Yeah, it's nice to give it a try. Asonge, remember it's not plus, it's going to be times. Remember what we have for the for the sides, we're going to multiply them here. Arsene, Rory-san, I'm still waiting for something from you, as well as Kazimla. Kazimla, you've been very quiet today. If you can just share some answers, that will be great. Okay, so I'm going with some of the answers I have here. The purple is times by 2. The green is times by what? 2. Green is times by 2. And then the orange, it goes from 2 to, so that's times by 4, right? Orange is times by 4. So your original was 1 times 2, and now we've got 4 times 8. Does everybody agree with this? The purple one is times by 2, the green one is times by 2, and the orange is times by 4. You can just show me a thumbs up. Oh, okay, thank you for that. Tosley, do you agree with this? Thanks, Lutando. Okay, thanks, Swanello. Thanks, Dalen. Okay. Tosley is very quiet today. Okay, so we've got this as the shape changes. Now I'm going to show you one way. Thanks, Tosley. I'm going to move from this one. Please let me know if you have any questions, though. We're going to look at one way it is reduced. The sides become smaller, right? So they say scale factor is half. So we need to reduce this scale factor of half, right? So I think the best to do here is, this is what we're going to do. We're going to write down the coordinates of all the sides here, right? So let's write down the coordinates. So the one here at the bottom, J, I think I'll let you do that, right? Write down the coordinates for me. What are the coordinates of J, K, and H? What are the coordinates of these 3 sides? Okay, I'm going to write some of these answers that you are all giving me. So we've got J, which is -3 and -4. We've got the K. Actually, I'm just going to write this on the side because I don't want the diagram to become too untidy when we draw the new shape. So I'm going to say here J -3 and -4. K is 0 and 6. And H is -6 and 2. Huh? J looks a bit strange. Let's fix that. So J should be -4 and -2. Eh? See J -4 and -2. Because first X, eh? There's X -4 and Y is -2. Okay. Does everybody agree with these points? Okay, thanks, Dalen. Thanks, thanks everybody else. Thanks, Kazimna. Okay. So we've got all these points. Now we are going to, they say the scale factor is half. Look here. So we're going to take all these points and we're going to multiply each and every one by half and see what the new points are that we get, right? So let's do that. So the first one, J. What would it become if we multiply everything by half? What about the points of K and H? So J will become -2 and -1. This will be 0 and 3. And this last one will be -3 and 1. Okay, and we can now plot these new points, right? So we can say the first one is -2 and -1. Here. Then we have 0 and 3. And we have -3 and 1. And there we go. Now we can plot them all. We can put lines and we can connect. There we go. And that's the new triangle. And we have reduced it by a scale factor of half. This is the new triangle, right? Okay. How's that, everybody? Can you see how the question wanted us to reduce it by a scale factor of half? Eh? Scale factor of half. And we've done just that. It has become a smaller triangle. Previously, we enlarged, so it became, the shape was enlarged, the sides became bigger. Here, it has reduced. Everything is half. Okay, are there any questions? And Sakisi, Tosley, are there any questions? The rest of you, Lutando? No, no questions. Okay, great. Okay, so today we did quite a mixture of reflections, and we did some parts of enlargement and also reducing the shape. There are many more questions to this, and you'll find in class you'll probably discover many more interesting questions regarding this. And also sometimes it's not only about drawing the shapes, but also looking. They can give you a diagram just like this and say, what happened to the shape? And you're going to have to then look at the shape and see what happened to it. Was it reduced? Was it reflected? Was it enlarged? Was it translated as we did the previous one? Did it go left? Did it go right? Did it go up? Did it go down? What happened to it, right? So I see there's no more questions. So yeah, that is it from me today. I'm going to hand you over to Coco, who's going to tell you a little bit more about the homework and where we're at in terms of the course. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, we're just going to wait for Coco, but you're more than welcome to let me know if you have any questions.
Hi, sorry, Teacher Depesh, I didn't quite hear you.
Not a problem. No, I'm saying that we are done, and you are welcome to let them know where we're at and if there is any homework as well.
Okay, awesome. Yes, we do have quite a lot of homework actually. I'm just going to share my screen quickly.
Great.
I want to make sure I share the right screen. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Hello, grade 8s. It's so nice to have you guys with us again. Do remember that this is the last week that we're actually going to have classes, because from the 1st of October, you guys will be on holiday. So we won't have classes for the 1 week break. Only after, when you guys come back, will we have classes, which is why we're on lesson 7 now, which is transformations. And you've learned about enlargement and reflection in one, actually, because next Wednesday, on Wednesday, we're going to be doing exam type questions. Okay, so the homework that we have today is we're going to go to our topics, and we're going to click on transformation geometry, and then, okay, this is supposed to be on reflections. I don't know how it moved, but it's supposed to be highlighting reflections. So we're going to try all of those exercises so we can see what Teacher Depesh was talking about today. And also we're going to try all the ones on enlargements and reductions, which is exactly what you guys have done today. All right, that's it from our side, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so happy to have you guys with us all this time. I need to stop sharing now. Hold on, let me see.
I think your box reflected itself or did some sort of translation.
My box moved itself. Yes, it did.
Moved left and right, up and down.
Yes. Oh, yes, it reflected itself about the y-axis. So yes, that's what happened. Okay, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're going to see you guys again on Wednesday at 5 p.m. All right, bye-bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone. See you soon and study well.
Bye, sir. Bye, ma'am.
Bye, sir.
Bye, guys. And very well done, Luniko.
Bye, sir. Bye, ma'am. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye, Arsen. Tonelo, bye.